Alright, hopefully you can see it's kind of wet out here, so the screen is getting foggy. But anyway, so this is looking down the property line, and along the property line is this big huge maple, which is a nice tree, but it is right on the property line, and we need a new retaining wall. As you can see, this old fence, the metal fence, is fallen down, and then there's some wooden fence. There's actually like 2 layers of wooden fence. I've removed some of it, but it's all fallen down. And you can, I mean, it's worse over here. The problem is, if I want to build, a proper retaining wall along this whole boundary line, is that it's going to be hard to dig. Is it footings or footers? Footings, I think, because there's going to be a big root system where this tree is, and the tree comes over onto the this other property on the other side. I don't know if you can see it, but there's real beefy roots down there. Yeah, so that's the dilemma. I've had a bunch of people come over to do quotes for a retaining wall, and a handful of them have just said, nah, we can't really do that. Like, they're saying we can build a retaining wall up to about 10 feet or 15 feet from this big tree, but any closer, and we'll we're not gonna be able to actually make anything that has any structural integrity. So in theory, they can retain like 80% or 70% of this line, this property line, and there's like a 3-foot drop down to the next property. So we don't have a lot of trees left on our property. We got rid of a few, so we do want to save this one because it's big, it's nice, creates a lot of shade, but it's also preventing us from having a nice proper retaining wall. And then I'd build a fence, pretty tall fence, probably with privacy. But so that's the dilemma. If anyone sees this and has any ideas about how to build a retaining wall when you have issues of a large, I don't know if this you'd say old growth, maybe not old growth, but I think it's 40 or 50-year-old tree. Maybe it's not. I don't know anything about trees. So if anyone has any ideas about how to build a wall when you have big root systems to deal with, if there's any option at all, I don't even know. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And something else, I'm open to it. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but I talked to a guy who does has a portable sawmill, and he said he would come and cut the whole tree down and mill it up into big slabs, which would be pretty cool. And then he'd get the roots and stuff out of the way, and then I could build my wall. And his price for doing that seemed pretty reasonable, especially since I would be left with these big maple slabs. Anyway, yeah, if anyone has any ideas, I'd love to hear them.